So I realize that some people don't recognize or know the messages of their inner critic, which is one of the reasons why people feel like I don't have an inner critic. How would I know? So I put together three of the many, but three messages or stories that you might be buying into that would indicate that you might be tuning into the story written by your inner critic. The first, I wrote my little post-its because that's how my brain works. The first, I know what I need to do, I'm just not doing it. Every action, every inaction is rooted in some belief. You either take action or you don't take action because there is something in here that you believe, some thought that you are feeding on that is creating a feeling. And that feeling in this case is self protection. You are not taking action because it feels safer to not do so. You are buying into the story that an action is going to lead to threat, and out of fear, you are deciding to not move forward. Now, there is some work to be done around like what is the belief, what is the thing that you're actually afraid of. But your inner critic doesn't even require all that. Your inner critic just needs to tell you a story that makes you feel afraid, and because of that fear, you do nothing. Right? I know what I need to do. I don't know why I'm not doing it. I don't know why I'm not taking action. You got to dig underneath. What's the belief? What's the thought? What's the feeling? If it's fear, your inner critic has sold you a story and is in the driver's seat, keeping you going nowhere. All right, number two. Take a little post-it. This just has to be right, you know? I can't be out here looking foolish. I made that face because that's kind of one of mine. Right? And what you heard is I cannot risk not looking like I have my stuff together. I don't know if I said that right. I can't risk looking like I don't have my stuff all together. That's perfectionism, my friend. And if you are buying into the perfectionism story, that means you believe you don't have any margin of error. You believe that you will only be accepted, you will only belong, you will only be approved, acknowledged, listened to if all of your shit is together. When in reality, perfectionism doesn't exist. What you end up doing is like tweaking, procrastinating, refining, editing, revising ad nauseum. And you never end up putting yourself out there because you are afraid of being seen as something other than perfect or having it all together. When in reality, perfection makes you not relatable. When you are perfect, when you have all your stuff together all the time, people look at you and they're just like, yeah, I can't connect with that. I don't resonate with that. Now, some part of me who wants to be seen in my own perfection might connect with that, but the human part of me, the growing part of me, the part of me that is like, life is messy and uncertain, and I'd rather live in an adventure than not live at all, that part of me is not perfect. It lives in the uncertainty. That's where all the adventure is. So if you are somebody who has said, this has got to be right, I can't be out here looking foolish, you are concerned about how things look more than you are concerned about feeling in alignment with yourself. And anything that requires you to choose something over yourself comes from some fear, story told, inner critic. All right, number three. I'm so grateful for editing things because your girl might have to chop this up a little bit. I'm supposed to be trying to record videos that are shorter than, I don't know. I'm practicing. It ain't gonna be perfect. See what I did there? All right, last one. Number three. Something else you might be thinking in your head that you would never say out loud that may be a story that your inner critic is telling you. I feel like a fraud. This is harder than I expected. I'm the person people look to as proof of what's possible, and I'm struggling. If I am struggling, then something about me must not be right. I should not be struggling this hard if I am the front runner, if I am the person others look to and aspire to be, behind the scenes, it's a hot mess in here. Now, there's a difference between being out of integrity and going through the natural ups and downs of life, right? If you are going through the natural ups and downs of life, to expect anything else just because you have had more practice, been at this longer, is an unrealistic expectation. You are growing and evolving every year. You are going through growth loops every year. That means you will always be a beginner in some season. You will always be learning. You will always be navigating new territory. To expect anything other than that from yourself is to hold yourself to such a high standard, leaving no room for error, and it's playing on your desire to be a good steward. The side effect of that, when you buy into that story, you try to scale down your dreams. You scale down your vision. You decide to play smaller. You shrink. Again, anything that makes you not stand in the fullness, anything that makes you retreat in fear, anything that makes you feel less than, message of fear, inner critic, right? And I chose these because, like, we don't hear stories or messages from the inner critic that are like, you are not enough. That's like basic level. Like, our inner critic is as savvy as we are. Our inner critic rises to the level of our intellect and experience. You not falling for the okie doke if you've had experience doing big things, navigating uncertainty. Like, the more practiced and advanced you are, the more practiced and advanced your inner critic is. So I didn't choose things like you aren't enough, you don't know enough. Those things are the underthoughts. Those are the themes that the inner critic pulls from. But the way the inner critic works is a little sneakier than that. And we have to learn those messages. And if we can begin to identify the messages that our inner critic go to, mine are almost always around like scarcity, money, being seen as something other than who I have worked really hard to be, right? Those are mine. If you can find your messages from your inner critic, speak your inner critic's language, then you can begin to say, is that true? What else could be true? Oh, that's a story that is intended to keep me small so I don't expand. Is expansion what I really want right now? Yes. Oh, okay. I need to have a conversation with my inner critic. We got to get on the same page here. If you realize that there is something you want to do, some place you want to go, some experience you want to have, and you are not moving towards it, if you have been like living in uncertainty, you've been vulnerable, you've been following your heart, following your intuition, and shit is hard, it's a part of the journey. Our job is to not buy into the story that's playing in our head that would have us shrink, get smaller, or not move. I'm having a workshop on changing the relationship with your inner critic, because your inner critic never goes away. If you find that you are feeling stagnant, paralyzed, defeated, scared of what thing is ahead of you, come to the workshop. I'm going to teach you how to recognize your inner critic. I'm going to help you diagnose where you are on the inner critic continuum. We're going to do an exercise to kind of reset or reframe how your inner critic is allowed to show up for you. Allowed. And how to rebound when you slip. Because you are going to slip. The more you grow, the more you learn, the more you expand, the more your inner critic pipes up. So, if you are ready to get out of your head and get into motion, I invite you to join me. It's this Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. It is intimate, small, because I want everybody to feel safe, seen, and supported in a space where they can do their most important work. And if that's you, I'll see you on the other side.